EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Giants. Disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Harris. Room here to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Palmer going to go in motion left. Here's Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
A first carry for Rashad White. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Harris running straight ahead. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 15 yards on the play. First down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing now is Daniels. This is White on the screen. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Rashad White, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead.
The score, Commanders 7, Giants 0.
they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Right back to Tracy. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured up to the 9-yard run on the previous play. Getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
Now Dart. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he will have a Giants 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. The Giants have 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
There's a short one caught by Johnson. Calling a gain of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. You talk about this Washington defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Here's Dart. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Amos. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
First down, here's White. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Now a 2nd and 6. They go play action. Daniels. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Now Daniels. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First catch here by McLaurin, and he's got himself a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. They hardly hit the ground, and I thought, he might be the one thing for this one.
You talk about this Giant defense. It's quite a unit, number one in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
To throw is Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air goes Daniels. He's got his receiver, Lane. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Washington.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Daniels looking to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Commanders 14, Giants 0.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try to get back in this game?
That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Looking to throw, Dart. Complete to his target, Jalen Hyatt. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for the Giants. 51 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now the former Sun Devil, it's Cam Scatterboo. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 19-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll go again with Tracy. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Tyrone Tracy, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants have got it back to within a score. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
26-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Second and 9 now. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
13 yards.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up with 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Here's White. They set up the screen. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
At the 44-yard line.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Daniels. They'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. They have 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 43. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. Over the middle, complete. That's Palmer. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. Give them 18 on the play.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
At the 15-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Second down and a yard. They'll toss to Harris. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
That's what you call stringing the play out. I know he was looking for a spot to get upfield, but they gave him nowhere to cut, nowhere to find a place to make it into the secondary, and they forced him out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. In motion comes the tight end left. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got a touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Let's face it, a better look for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think we'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partners, a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Dart going to look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Dart. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
On the return, it's White. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during the series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
First and goal at the 8-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
On the give is Tracy. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Brings up second and
here's
goal.
Dart. Now he's going to step up and run. This is caught. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton as the first half is winding down. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. And McLaurin, the motion man right. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
They approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
A final shot before break. Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now he's getting the ball to start the second half. How about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. To throw, Dart. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 3. Throwing his Dart. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels setting up the screen. Harris. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out, you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
2nd and 5. Finding Harris on back-to-back plays. And he went nowhere. One went backwards, back to the 33. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill in for a loss.
Here's Daniels. Pass caught. It's Lane with it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. They'll run for it. This is White. Going absolutely nowhere. They'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this. Because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. A few moving pieces on that play, because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And he's going to get this all the way down to Washington's 34. 55 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Throwing, dart. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but but they'll say it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
2nd and 10. They'll hand it to Tracy. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. To throw now, Dart. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 13-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. Here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And Powell running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Running left is Tracy. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beat. And he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful for the yard out. And the Giants have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
The Giants will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that front. Now, a loose football. The ball comes out, and this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Throwing now is Daniels. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. It's Deonte Banks with it. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the third quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Throwing after the interception, Daniels. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And caught it out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field, and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
33-yard line.
Throwing his dart. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Washington on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. To throw his dart. Now he'll tuck this and run. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Here's Dart. He's got his target. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. On the ground, here comes Tracy. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips and bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out. We got them now.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Dart from the gun on 3rd down. Hyatt there to grab it. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll go. Here's Dart. That's to his running back, complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Tyrone Tracy. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Giants look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Commanders 21.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And they will be backed up deep. Trouble here as they're going to start this drive at the 6.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Now Daniels. Now they go screen. It's complete. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're fighting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it cost them 2 points.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. He'll return it from the 6.
It's a gain of 20. And the Giants first down. First and 10 at the 27.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they look to finish strong in this fourth quarter. And this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Here's Tracy. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. 3rd down, here's Tracy. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Taking it about the 16. 62 yards on the punt that time around. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Down the right sideline. They'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They'll get 34 yards there. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2.
The Commanders will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Daniel's going to try and throw for it. That's caught. And that's caught for the additional 2 points. It'll only matter to the final scoreline, and that is the final act of this game. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You score the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion.
Some sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.
So for the Giants, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Commanders, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.